Well, I got many of the parts in for an upcoming build, and I thought I'd do this one and kind of record most of it, do it online here for you, for YouTube watchers, subscribers. Go through the parts that I got here first. This is your basic Maxx 4907 chassis, aluminum, anodized blue. The way that you can tell the just quickly as you see them in pictures and whatnot, the 2.5 or the short, the non-extended, whatever you want to call it, has square on all four corners. The extended, you can distinguish them by the taper. They are 30 millimeters longer, and that is a difference in why they call it extended. So that's the chassis we'll start with, and those are the stock Maxx chassis braces for it. Not going to get into the trans build right now. I'll do the trans build later, but this is the motor plate. This whole build I want to do with all Traxxas parts, but not just the stock parts, all of their hop-up parts. So this should, in the end, this will be all Traxxas brand parts, but the best off-the-shelf that you can get of said parts. So I'm gonna have the 3906 style trans, because it's what bolts into this chassis. The brushless style trans or the 16.8 trans will not bolt to this chassis. So this is the motor plate for it. It's part number there. It is thicker than the stock one. I think it's like 2 millimeters thicker, and it is vented to aid a little bit more in cooling your motors down. Get into the electronics shortly. And then this is the lightweight output shaft for the trans. It's aluminum. What is it? Teflon coated, hard anodized. I've got quite a few. This is just one pack of many, but they're stainless steel screws, because I don't want to put it together with just the stock screws. I don't like the rust factor, and the black ones seem to strip out pretty easily. Okay, so then we got a skid plate, just for the center skid plate. Again, sticking with the stock Traxxas Blues color scheme. And these are the servo mounts, again in aluminum. Hard anodized pivot balls. I actually started to open one. Aluminum front and rear bumpers. The front ones are the curved, the rear are the straight. There's your part number. Open all this up here shortly. I still have to get what is this, the rear. I still have to get the front. I believe they also make these in red, but I like the black. Kind of make it disappear with the black arms. This is stock Maxx receiver box. Aluminum bulkheads. Part number. Other aluminum bulkhead. Get into the electronics. This is our high torque waterproof servo. 2075 TQI 5-channel receiver, TQI 2-channel transmitter, only takes 4 batteries, brushless style diffs. Now I will point out, if you're going to use the brushless style diffs, I also heard them called Revo spec diffs, but I don't own a Revo, so I can't say that they're the same thing. The transmission on a brushless and on a 16.8 operates in the opposite direction. Therefore, if you are going to use these on something else other than a 16.8 or a brushless, you have to rotate this collar. So just by simply spinning this around, this is now how it comes, the screw heads on that side in relation to it. So if I put it in this way, when I hit forward, the truck would go backwards. So by spinning this, I make it function in the opposite direction, and now when I hit forward, it will go forward. So what's different about the brushless or the 16.8 is they have heavy duty componentry that's not in the 3.3. So these are the heavy duty, are the most heavy duty of the diffs available for the T-Maxx, E-Maxx. So those are the components. I'll open some of them up. I think I can even put the bulkheads on the chassis with the diffs in, and let's see, maybe we can go a little further. So, open a razor blade, and we will open these up. That didn't cut very well. Does look as though it comes with hardware. Set that aside. Open up the next one. Story. Hardware. Let's see what they actually send with it. Yes, just easier. So, your bumper brace mounts. Two. Yeah, they give you your choice if you want to use the short ones or the long ones, I guess. The holes look pretty darn deep, so we'll see which ones work. Perfect match in blue. So, into the little hole goes the deal. There's the front and rear diffs. Take some screws out of the bag here, the stainless ones. Okay, this front is where the steering is. That's the rear, because that's where the rear toe links are. Did I open two rears? Did I really? Yeah, I did. Ha ha ha. That's funny. I'll grab a front. Okay, we'll just ignore that. We'll just kind of overlook that. Yeah, that's what you get for having multiple boxes stacked on top of each other. So again, with the front. Don't want to screw them all the way tight until I get them all in, because then I won't be able to position them all. And then again, same thing, when you put the skid plates on, you may find that you want to loosen these up a little bit, or even your bumper braces, just to make it a little easier to get everything to line up. There's front. I'll do the rear. Looking pretty sexy already. Oops. There we go. Keep going here. Threading the stainless into the aluminum, anytime you hit a spot that seems kind of stiff, don't just force your way through it, because you'll just booger up the threads, and now you'll have to get them tapped, possibly. Not that taps are overwhelmingly expensive, but it's just more pain, more hassle than just backing it up and making sure that there's not a little debris or something in there. one chassis with a front and rear bulkhead with diffs. Let me shut this camera light off and see if it helps. A little bit different intensity in the light. And now we can I'll open up the servo mounts and see about mounting the receiver box. Okay, so that's the chassis with the bulkheads and the diffs. Got Traxxas 4929 bulkhead rear, Traxxas 4930 bulkhead front, servo mounts, which I do not have any more stainless. I don't have the stainless button cap screws in yet, so I'll hold off on those, but I'll show you how it'll look. And that'll be the servo. And then, because I'm not a fan of the gray, it just sticks out too much, I will be dyeing it all, the front and rear skid plate as well as the receiver box, and make it all black, so everything will be blue, black, or silver. Again, I plan on doing this truck all Traxxas parts, so I'm kind of limited, even though that's not really so substantial. It's not like Traxxas is a shortage of parts, but I'm limiting myself to only parts made by Traxxas for this build. So other than the screws, everything will be Traxxas parts. So the motors and the trans, when I get there, will be also Traxxas. I do want to do this one brushless, and that's why I wanted to do the heavy duty diffs, but because the Mamba monster, if you will, is actually made by Castle Creations, I'm thinking of going another route. So it'll be kind of a surprise once we get there. It's going to be a little while down the road, but I got a lot more truck to build. But there's the start, and then we still got quite a few more parts to go off their hop-up bin. To put in. So follow, subscribe if you want to keep up with the build, and I'll keep updating as the build goes. I should have parts coming in, a couple pieces every week until I get it done. I don't want it to take months, but it'll probably take about a month. So, and it will be a Traxxas body. It'll be a stock Traxxas Emax body, but it'll be custom painted, so it won't look anything like a stock Traxxas Emax body. So again, like I said, like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and thanks for watching.